Overwatch 2 has been dying a long, slow death ever since it released. When Overwatch 2 was set to come out, we were promised many things with this game. One of the main things being a PvE story missions that were replayable with different hero talents with different heroes. And unfortunately, we saw a few months ago that had been completely cut. The whole reason for this game to exist was cut. Overwatch 2 essentially became nothing more than a monetization update. In fact, it was one of the most expensive games at the time regarding microtransactions. It was putting games like Halo Infinite and Call of Duty and Apex Legends to shame in the complete wrong way by charging even more for even less. Fast forward to today, with all the drama that surrounded Overwatch 2, Blizzard has now admitted that Overwatch 2's engagement is in decline in the latest earnings report. Blizzard being a public company, they have to publish their reports of their finances every so often. I'm not really going to get too much into the finance side of things. One, because I'm no expert on it, and two, that's not the point I'm trying to make. Activision Blizzard has admitted that Overwatch 2's engagement and player investment has declined sequentially in its Q2 of 2023 earnings report. Overwatch 2 has had a bit of a rough time since its launch last year. The revamped hero shooter saw the title move from a 6v6 format to a 5v format and made several adjustments to the heroes to shift the focus more towards action. That ended up not really working too much in their favor. So Blizzard has maintained the shooter through various seasonal updates, often offering a new battle pass and potentially a new hero to bring players back. And unfortunately that has not worked, mostly due to how expensive it is if you want to keep up with this game and how much of a grind it is. If you are going to be committed to grinding out the Overwatch battle pass, this really has to be one of the only games you are playing. So with that being said, Overwatch 2 has definitely been the cause of many problems for Blizzard. The promised PvE mode for the game was announced to be massively reduced in scale, causing an uproar from the community who were excited about the mode. Like I said previously, it really was the sole reason for this whole game to exist. Many have questioned the purpose of Overwatch 2 now that PvE has been scaled back, which was one of the reasons the title moved to its sequel in the first place. It appears that the pivot to the sequel has now been struggling to captivate the masses. The developers admitted in a recent earnings report that interest and engagement from players has declined for Overwatch 2 over the last quarter. Now, exactly what this looks like on the financial end does remain unclear, and Activision Blizzard is still raking in billions of dollars a year, with PC and console titles contributing greatly to the overall sum. And a large portion of that is coming from Call of Duty Mobile. For some reason, this game is making a stupid amount of money. Now, the slice of pie contributed by Overwatch 2 specifically hasn't really been clarified. The publishing giant admitted that the title wasn't declined throughout the last quarter. And then we have a quote here from the report that says, while engagement and player investment in Overwatch 2 has declined in the quarter, the Overwatch team is looking forward to the August 10th release of Overwatch 2 Invasion, the report states. Basically, they're just trying to advertise their latest upcoming season, hopefully sell a few more battle passes and skins and all that type of stuff. Not only will this update be one of the largest the game has seen, including new PvE story missions, the same PvE mode that in their own words had been greatly scaled back. The seasonal patch will also see a new game introduced, hero progression system, and an entirely new hero. The future is yet to be determined for Overwatch 2, but with the player interest dropping, stakes are high for Invasion to revitalize the game back to where it was before. I'll tell you right now, that is not going to be the case. It's not going to bring the players back to where they were before. In fact, even on the competitive side of this game, it's not looking good. Activision Blizzard cuts esports staff amid uncertain future for the Overwatch League. Even the competitive side of this game is looking cloudy at best. About 50 employees reportedly lost their jobs out of the blue this week. Now, I know what you're thinking. For Blizzard, 50 people losing their jobs isn't really a whole lot of people. It sucks when anyone loses their job. Now, keep in mind, this is specifically focused on the competitive side or the esports side of Overwatch specifically. 50 people losing their jobs in that division is a lot. Activision Blizzard has made a round of layoffs as its esports division, while confirming that big changes may be in store for the Overwatch League. On Wednesday, the company reportedly cut around 50 employees in what appeared to be a, quote, significant gutting of its esports division. One of the affected team members told The Verge, "There was no warning," they said. "This was a complete shock to everyone, and none of us who were laid off were offered any opportunity to switch roles or teams." In a statement, Brad Crawford, the senior director of global communications of Activision Blizzard Esports, claimed, quote, We remain committed to the future of esports, and we regularly assess how our own staffing aligns with our business goals to ensure that we can evolve with changing trends and the best deliver for our teams, players, and fans. As always, supporting our employees through the transition is our top priority. End quote. The layoffs were made amid uncertainty over the future of the Overwatch League, with Activision announcing on Wednesday that franchise owners were set to vote on whether to continue the competition in its current format. Look, long story short, that is not a good sign for them. The problem with esports is it does not make money. And not only that, a lot of esport teams don't make much money. Look no further than FaZe Clan and all the bullshit that's going down with them these days. During the second quarter, we amended certain terms of our collaborative engagements with teams, entities participating in the Overwatch League, it said. According to amended terms, following the conclusion of the current Overwatch League season, the teams will vote on updating operating agreement. If the teams, however, do not vote to continue under an updated operating agreement, a termination fee of $6 million will be payable to each participating team entity. Total fee of approximately $114 million. So what that essentially means is any team that wants to jump ship with Overwatch, now's the time to do it. You are going to make $6 million by jumping ship. Esports loses money, and you're being given the opportunity to make $6 million by not playing, by not competing, by cutting all ties. I can't help but wonder which way a lot of these teams are going to vote when it comes to this stuff. On the other end of that argument, it all comes down to how much faith do you have in the Overwatch League and your team. For a lot of people, it's just a passion project, which is fine, but I would say for the vast majority of these owners, it's nothing more than an investment. They are essentially being sold what they are being told is the next big sports team, thinking they could flip it down the line and make a billion, cajillion, citrillion dollars. However, that is not the case, especially with a dying esport and a dying game like Overwatch. A lot of this could easily have been avoided with better updates for the game, better communication, and committing to the promises that were made. However, they failed on all fronts, and this is why Overwatch is dying a very slow death.